about a minute to go. So we are in the minute leading up here to our broadcast. So I'm just getting settled in here. So we are live streaming, we are recording. Awesome. All right, so we have a little over 30 seconds. I'm just going to hit a few buttons. So if anybody's catching this with YouTube Live, just hang tight for a moment. We are about to begin. Fifteen seconds. Dun, 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 dun. Welcome to AbilityMKE Now on River West Radio. My name is Sue Roscoff, and we are so happy to be here tonight. AbilityMKE Now is a show all about integration, bringing people with disabilities and people that don't have a disability together, enjoying life here in the Milwaukee area. We all have different abilities. Here at AbilityMKE Now, we dive into this topic of diverse abilities. The concept of disability hits a wide range of possibilities. We could be talking about physical or mental disabilities, the deaf and hard of hearing community, blindness, chronic pain, a mental health diagnosis, goals of substance use reduction, and the list goes on. We all have our own experience with disability, whether it's our own or with people we know or people we encounter in our everyday lives. Here at AbilityMKE Now, we break down the barriers and celebrate the ability in all of us. We are here today right after a major holiday, with 4th of July holiday just happening yesterday. And we are so excited to be able to welcome in a new friend into our show tonight. But for some introductions, I'm actually going to bring in Emily, Miss Emily Gomer, to go ahead and introduce our wonderful guest this evening. So Emily, over to you.
Our guest this evening, we met through the Happy Neighborhood Project. And he hails from Canada and serves in the health and wellness business and is the founder of the Essential Academy. So I think we can bring in Mr. Natan Verkowski. So Natan, you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Who you are, what you do?
You did awesome, Emily. Thanks so much. And Sue, thanks so much for having me on the show and everybody else. That's wonderful. I'm sure I'll give you the 10-second quick intro. My name's Natan Verkowski. I've been an elite energy coach for about 30 years now. I've had about 15,000 people come through my hands, starting at Cirque du Soleil, Olympic sports teams, national Olympians, all these really, really amazing peak performing people. And then COVID hit and I had to come online and figure out that unique pivot in life and such. So I founded the Essential Academy back in June 2020 as a not-for-profit private educational community so that we could really help out others in all aspects, including those with abilities and disabilities. So it's an interesting way to segue in. That's wonderful.
I love that. Oh my gosh. What first thing that comes to mind is, with all of the amazing people you've met over this time, then do you have any particular story that really stands out in your mind as something that meant a lot to you personally?
Give me more context. That happens every Tuesday.
Awesome. Well, let's see. Well, I'll bring it towards our show then.
Okay.
Have you worked with many folks with differing abilities? Have you? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Is there any particular stories that stand out in that realm?
One of the gentlemen that works with us he's on the spectrum, so for autism, and also identifies in a unique way. Let's call it on the rainbow. And so for him, he focuses on dating, but dating if you're autistic, and how to go about doing that. And so he teaches a course, and so the Academy hosts that and helps him push through that and really find more audiences that can come in and say, you know what, if it's two consenting adults and you guys know and understand and everybody's good to go, welcome to the normal world. It's no different over here. It's normal for everybody. It's normal. And he helps you feel okay with that, with, enlightened consent. So he's a really, really brave, wonderful, powerful person. And so that would be an example of somebody that we work with. He's also at the Academy, our onboarding captain. So he helps with people, gives them their accountability at the end of the month. Really, really wonderful set of skills and duties. And it's because of his, what others would look at as uniqueness or awkwardness or offness, but that's just what makes him really, really good in certain aspects. So aces in their places, wonderful, wonderful experience.
I love that. That's awesome. So, okay, now I got to back the train up here. You said you've been doing this for 30 years.
Yes.
What got you started in this? How did this all begin for you?
Oh, I love that. That's neat. I rarely go all the way that far back. I was blessed enough that my parents came from former Soviet Union. So my mom's a concert pianist. My dad was an Olympic gymnast. And when you come from
Wow.
Russia, you do what your parents do. It's not really a choice. So by 12, I'd already, won the Aquinas Music Festival. And I'm working as a piano teacher at home as a kid. But because I won the festival and I'm able to play, I'm making about $1,000 a month at 14 when everyone else is flipping burgers at McDonald's for about $4 an hour. And that's Canadian minimum wage. So it was really bad. And I realized that I'm like, this is something important, that life skill such. And then around 15, my dad, I went over to his side of the world with the Cirque du Soleil and the acrobatics and all of those cool things and power tumbling. And I got the all-state equivalent. I was all-state within 1 year of power tumbling. So I focused on those two ways and played, and really, really wanted to just do the elite peak performance, the ways that you can stop wasting emotional energy, the ways to go up, down, and neutralize at will, to get in the zone, to stay there as long as you need, to get that 2 days worth of work done in one, that kind of stuff.
That is amazing. Oh, and I can really appreciate that with our background is with performance water skiing. We put on ski shows every week,
How cool.
and which is on a totally different level, all amateur, all fun, very family based. We have the 3-year-olds, we have the 80-year-olds. It spans
So
across
cool.
the whole thing. And that's when I hear about some of the background you have, it's like, it just absolutely piques my interest, and I get all these mental pictures of how cool would that be?
You know what's funny on your side of the world in water skiing? So I learned to water ski from a professional hockey player from Calgary who somehow had a summer house down in Flathead Lake, Montana. And my parents were doing a gymnastic camp there, saw him, waved to him, and he said, "Hey, you're my daughter's gymnastic coach," to my dad. And sure enough, he's like, "Does your son know how to water ski?" And I'm like, "Heck no." And he's like, "Come on over and I'll show you how." So it was the most incredible thing. And that was just one of those things that it's a beautiful time and space. If you're in that right place, if you're in with the right people and stuff. I loved water skiing. I thought it was the coolest thing.
Oh, awesome. Oh, I love that. So you understand our passion and our love for what we do, because actually a lot of how we ended up walking into what we're doing, even that this show exists, it all stems back to water skiing and actually doing adaptive water skiing. So there's this amazing thing called a sit ski. So we've actually our first big event, like our big event, is happening in a couple of days here on July 7th, 2023. We have our first day down in Burlington, Wisconsin, at Fisher Park. We will be doing a day of adaptive water skiing, and that's where people of all abilities come. We have some people that will do stand-up skiing, but most of the participants that come are doing sit-down skiing. And
it's sit-down skiing. I've never heard of that.
Oh, it is a special ski that it's a little bit wider and a little bit longer, and then there's a seat. It's actually like a metal frame with a lot of padding and straps and whatnot, so that it's a comfortable spot to sit in. And it's called a cage, just because it's like a big frame that's on the ski. And the one that we use also has outriggers. So we basically have another set of skis. Kind of like I in my mind.
That's incredible. When did they come up with this invention? Like, is this new?
It's been around. Actually, our club has had one of those since the early 90s, late 80s. It's been around for a really long time. It's just not been as well known around the world as it should be.
See, that would have sounded like
so much.
Yeah, I would have had an easier time learning how to do it on that. The guy gave me one ski, and I'm like, so he's like, "Yeah, just put one foot in front of the other, bend your knees, and go. Lean back a bit, but not too much. Lean forward a bit, but not too much." hang in there. And I'm like, should I put it in my teeth and dance? Like, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. But sure enough, I thought that's what I thought it was supposed to be that hard. So when you said they're sitting, I thought, on their bum, just on the water, like it was, bodyboarding or something. No, you meant there's a whole cool thing for them. That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Then we have two
And
stand-up skiers that go with them, one on either side, and you go out as a unit, and it is
Oh,
so
that
much
sounds
fun.
fun. That sounds
That is
fun.
like the highlight of my summer is when we have somebody, especially the brand new person who this is their first time ever, and just the adrenaline rush, all these
Oh,
things
yeah.
of something new happening like that
For
is
sure.
just such a joy.
How cool. That's awesome.
Natan, it's not just you who did not know about the sissy. I didn't know about it either until I met Kurt and Sue. So
That's
you're
awesome.
not the only one.
Did you get to try it, Emily?
I haven't yet, but
Yeah. Okay. I'm excited. I want to try this thing. I mean,
It is very cool.
even if I can do the other one, I like the two-legged skiing. That one I always found was cool and very happy and useful. I thought that all of that stuff would have transferred when I tried to do the what do the kids do? Where it's like this board and they pull it behind them and stuff, and they're kind of like they're not attached to it. It's like a
Ooh. At first I was thinking wakeboarding, but you're actually, do you have your feet in
it might
um,
be wakeboarding. I think it was wakeboarding.
there's actually boots on that are attached.
Yeah, that was way harder.
It's hard.
It was
I would
not
not
fun or
recommend
easy.
those.
I was like things are cramping, and I'm like, no, this was not fun. I was like, oh man, okay. So water skiing was that sweet spot. I like that.
So, well, now with what you do with your coaching, is it mostly athletes that you work with then, or at this point now, it sounded like since COVID's hit, you maybe have stretched beyond that. So tell me about how that transition went for you. How did things end up evolving like this?
Well, we were starting off with me coming in and trying to figure out, okay, if you're a reputable person with education, experience, and expertise offline, shouldn't be that hard to be that same person online. And yeah, people can buy likes and follows and shares. And I don't know if, you just spend $10,000 on your website. And that's why I'm supposed to be convinced that this is an incredible, credible, real legitimate bona fide expert, but it's just a pretty website. So I don't know. And sure enough, there's all these programs and gurus and just give me a couple $1,000 and I'll show you how to make all kinds of crazy money online and stuff. And so, yeah, like a dummy, I got hooked and I'm talking to one guru and another one. And it's like going to the magic store. They're not going to show you the trick before you buy the trick. But if you buy the trick and you don't like it, that's what all of these felt like. Like I'm paying and learning all these programs and ways to be online, but they just didn't resonate. It felt like a used car salesman. No offense to them. I just, in the bad way. And I just, no, I didn't want to just sell some stuff. I wanted to help. I wanted to heal. I wanted to change and do some good. So when we founded it as a not-for-profit on purpose to make sure that it was here as a private, invitation only, by referral only, academic community. And that's where we were coming through. A good 5,000 people have probably come through our hands now. A good 40 to 50 people a month audition and apply to join us. We let in 4 or 5.
Wow. Oh, interesting. So tell me a little bit more about that. How does that process all work for you?
Everybody's got, education, experience, expertise, but if we're like the equivalent of a baby Harvard University online, for example, we're looking for somebody who's not just got those basics. We're looking for somebody who's got meaning and message, wants to do some good, heal, help, legacy. Really, people who want to leave the world better than they found it. And
I
they
love that.
usually have something that's just a thorn in their side. And it might be technology, it might be some marketing or sales or something's just giving them stress. And so when we realized that a lot of the people we were working with were very proud and, would self-assess themselves at about 12 out of 10. So it's very difficult to help those people because they're like, I'm super wicked awesome. I'm like, I know, but if you weren't, or if there was an area that you wanted to be super wicked awesomer, and what would that look like? And so when they were open and honest and humble and transparent, that's when we could actually jump in and say, oh, okay, well, why is this part of marketing not working? Well, I gave some guy a couple $1,000. He told me to do it this way. I'm like, do you like it that way? No, that doesn't That feels kind of icky or sleazy or yeah to me. Well, then don't do that. Yeah, but I paid some guy a couple $1,000. I'm like, lesson learned, right? We all pay for our education one way or another. Some of it is useful in the sense that, oh, wow, that's exactly what I want to do. And some of it's useful because it's, oh, wow, that's exactly what I don't want to do. But either way, you got to pay for the magic trick before you get to see how it's done.
Oh, I like that. That makes so much sense. So now I'm thinking with people that come to you, are they coming often? I'm even thinking back when you're talking more about with the athletes and whatnot. Is
Right.
there a kind of a typical person that would come to you, or is everybody just super unique different? I'm thinking,
They're all beautiful snowflakes, of course.
yes.
And everyone's obviously completely uniquely different. Like I said, because we've seen so many people, I'm starting to see after 3 years and thousands of people coming through my hands, these incredible patterns. So it's coaches, it's healers, it's therapists. The cool thing is as far as I know, we're the only private academy that has its own full suite sales and marketing agency built right in. So we're exercising kind of a proprietary process. And in it, we'll use AI to create and generate leads instead of wasting time and money on Facebook ads and YouTube ads and crossing our fingers and going, oh gosh, if I did it and I did it right, all right, yay, I got a lead. Okay, and then how many do I need before I can start mailing? And do I have to pay somebody to make these? And then how much do I pay to verify them? And does it cost money to email? I don't know. If you're sending out 20,000, it sure does. And then do I need to send out 20,000? Is that too many, too little? And if I do, what's a good number of open? And it just opens up this ridiculous camp. So most people are so intimidated by that. That's where we step in and say, everything that I've just said, that's the first part. And everybody else ends there. And when Facebook goes, and here you go, here's your lead. You go, oh, goodness. Okay, now let's begin. And meanwhile, I paid so much money and so much time for that. It took a while. So for us, our service is an appointment booking service, not a lead generation service. We'll find through AI all of the most incredible places wherever you have the biggest traction. So let's say you're like, I'm really big on Facebook groups. They love me. I have 3 or 4 of my own, and I want more of those kind of people. Okay. Oh, I have this incredible influencer on Instagram. I love their audience. Can we clone it? Okay. And obviously in the legal sense, nothing weird, but everything that's, if it's Googleable and searchable and it's not private and it's public, well, then it's 100% available to anybody. So AI uses that, is able to get that and pick your keywords and your hashtag. And then again, we use AI to create your email nurture sequence campaigns. So we can warm up people who are like, I've never heard of HMP. Why would I want to attend an event? Never heard of, River West Radio. Why would I want to tune in and listen? I've never heard of anything that Sue does with her water skiing thing, but we can warm up within 7 emails. A cold audience has never heard of what you do into, oh, you know what? If the only call to action is book an appointment to speak with me, it's not a really hard sell. I kind of like that. And if each email was kind of teaching me something and give me a little tidbit or value, and if they did it right and they picked me and that it is something I care about, I kind of look forward to these. These are pretty good. So that's where we'll come through and really, really help somebody to go, I'm kind of new at this. I've made a bit of a website, but it's not super great. I've done some things and made a landing page and done an event and done a workshop. Didn't do a lot of success with it, but I've spent so much money and I haven't made any. And I really don't want to keep spending more money. Is there any way that we can just, get my phone to ring a dozen times? Like not fix my website, not do this, not image or branding or any of these other really expensive things that are hard to track your ROI? Sure. That's why we created that service for those newer people.
Excellent. And we've been hearing more and more about the use of AI, about that artificial intelligence and how much of a time saver that is.
Yes.
And I actually, a good friend of ours she's a wheelchair user. She has a disability. She has been using AI a lot and has told us about how, like typing for her is a slow process.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, does AI save her time? She can put those few words of a prompt in there and make something happen in a much shorter amount of time.
Yes.
And it is just, I see so many things in the future of where it's all going to be going and how that's going to help so many people and just shorten time frames of what's possible.
Yes, I'm so with you. I remember when robotics were coming around to, car automation plants, and people were losing their jobs and going, oh my goodness, we're being replaced by these robots. I'm like, then learn how to run the robot. They still don't run themselves.
Exactly.
Go get that job. It's a good job. That job's not going anywhere for a minute. Do that one. So even in this context where, somebody had said famously that, hey, if you are white collar, college educated, and make less than $80,000 a year, it's a very good chance your job is going to be replaced in whole or in part by ChatGPT in the next 2-3 years, because it can do ridiculous things, and when you learn what they call prompt engineering, if you've ever heard that yet.
I've not heard that phrase. That's a great phrase.
So you get to be a prompt engineer. So the basic expression is, in the nicest way, garbage in equals garbage out. And if you're going to go, okay, ChatGPT, what do you want me to write? You're like, write me an email. Okay. You're not going to get a really good thing. You know what I mean? Or teach me French. You like put in 5 words or stuff. Sometimes the amount that I'll put in would be more than what I get out sometimes. But what I get out is so perfect. It's done. I'll give you an example. I talked to ChatGPT, and this is kind of an offside. So we'll do this as an incredible little bonus lesson on AI. What do they call it? Prompt engineering. I talk to it like it's a real human being. So I literally say, hi, you are the best copywriter in the world, ! And I make that clear. And the first thing it says back to me after I give it the instructions is, thank you. That's so kind of you. And then it just, like a real person, gives me this whole answer. And if I ask it for 7 emails and it only gives me 5, I write back to it and say, hey, I asked for 7, what's going on? The way that I would talk to a real person. And it says, I'm sorry, let me remedy that. Here's the full 7. It's just like, no business. But if you're looking at granularity and you're looking at specificity in any other program, we're trained with, like, do you remember the first time anyone ever used Google? And you're like, what can you do with it? I'm like, I don't know, what, like anything? And they're like, anything's too big. It's so too big that we couldn't figure out what to do with it. And a lot of people are just like, I have no clue. What did you Google today? You're like, in the first couple of years, that's what it was like. So with this, people are asking the silliest things and don't appreciate that it can do all of that. Sure. But now we use Google in the right way. If you and I both Google something and you want a good search result, you want to leave that pretty open, right? Like if I'm looking for River West Radio, I need to write River West Radio, and there's a pretty good chance that that's going to be the first one that pops up. If I just write either word, River West or radio, no. Pretty sure that no, we'll never see that ever in any number of pages. That's prompt engineering in that sense. And so the more words we'd use, I'm looking for a radio station. I can't really remember the name of it. And it looks like this and this. Google is not your friend. It's not going to help you with that. Chat GPT though, whoa, it's the weirdest thing. So it'll look in a completely different way. So if I was to say, I have a client and he's a financial advisor over in greater Boston area looking for small business owners with a personal net worth of at least $500,000 that are contemplating a potential exit strategy in the next 1 to 5 years. What would I write to them in order to warm them up to the idea of booking an appointment with him? That would be a basic. Keep it tone, conversational, light, make a joke that this is a cold email outreach, and I need 7 of them. Thank you. That's kind of an example of, wow, you put something like that in, what are you going to get out? I'm like, something you can charge money for. It's because it's worth something. It'll genuinely give value back. That's the cool part.
Awesome. Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. So here's a question for you.
Sure.
With all the different aspects of what you do and what you've done, what's been your favorite, most rewarding piece of it all?
The scholarships.
Okay, tell me more.
We've gifted more than $630 something thousand for the people that couldn't afford to join us, whether they were instructors or students or in some capacity, but felt that they needed that help, the education. They needed the sales and marketing stuff that we could do for this side, or the learning and the courses from this side, or whatever it was. We took our ability to help and made that a global thing. And so that always makes me feel incredible when those people come back, and it changed lives, and it made a difference in their life personally, financially. It comes back in a beautiful way. Like my biggest my biggest happiest moment. I had one instructor that said, you believed in me and you invested in me when I was personally very, very low. And I was thinking some bad thoughts, and my bank account was in big trouble and had been for a while. And I couldn't get myself clear in my head, and I couldn't get myself clear in my business. And you said, that's okay. And you're really not an inexpensive service, because back in the day, what do you call it? Pre not-for-profit is about $10,000 to join us. So yeah, you can understand why there's scholarships. In this case, it's not. So if you go from a model of 5 digits to join you versus 3 digits, you lose the ability to scale, but you get the ability for uniqueness. If you have that. So it's that old adage that you're like, if you want to eat with the rich, cater to the masses. If you want to eat with the masses, cater to the rich.
Wow, I like that. Awesome. Oh, well, we have just a few minutes left. I want to just open it up and see, is it what is in your mind as far as something you're hoping to share with us while you're here with us? Is there anything that hasn't been touched yet? I just want to open the floor up for you. If there was anything that's top of mind here that you want to make sure to share with us all.
Oh, I've had a wonderful conversation with you. You both have been tremendous and delightful, and a breath of fresh air. I made dinner for my girls tonight and stuff, so we got a chance to come in and play and talk and have some cool conversations. I think it's wonderful. I'm very quick and simple and easy. We're here to help serve others. We're here to serve those that serve others. There you go. So if that's you, or if that's somebody you know, and if in any way, shape, or form we could help you shine your light a little brighter, please reach out to me in some capacity. We'd love to say hi.
Awesome. And how would somebody be able to reach you? Is there a website that they could go to?
Sure. If you go to www.essential-academy/2023. Essential.academy/2023. That's me.
Awesome. Oh, I'm so glad we've been able to share who you are with the world here, because I'm absolutely loving this introduction, because
thank you so
for those
much.
that don't know, this is the first that Natan and I have had a chance to actually say hello, and I'm loving every minute of this.
How cool is that? Yep. That's so awesome, Sue. It's been a pleasure.
And
I've
Emily,
gotten to see you a few times as well, so it's wonderful to see you again.
so Emily, did you have any quick questions that you would like to ask at all? Because I know you've known him a little longer than I have, obviously, in my 30 minutes.
I'm not sure, actually. Nothing that could be answered in like 2 seconds.
Well, I'll give you a quick question here. Every so often, we call it our ice cream social night. So I'm going to ask you that burning question of, what's your favorite ice cream?
Ooh, I'm liking chocolate chip mint. I'm liking the rum raisin stuff. I'm liking some of that Rocky Road. I've got a bunch of flavors. You got to catch me in the mood. It could be a unique thing that night. It really could be just like, it could be strawberry. You never know.
I like this. So you are a
mood eater. I want to go to Baskin Robbins, roll my finger around the thing and just close my eyes and go, that one tonight, number 26. Let's do that. Let's do that one like that.
Awesome.
Life's fun.
Ask Chat GPT which one you should go to.
Yes, right? What is the best ice cream flavor? Go. That would be best. Oh, I would love it. I would love to hear its answer. I'm going to go check that out right after the show.
That's fantastic. Okay, well, I want to give you just if you had 20 to 30 seconds of a message for people, just whatever is top of mind.
Anything that you can possibly do. There's a wonderful Japanese tradition called Kaizen. It's the concept of continual improvement. Anything that you can do for yourself, because the way you do anything is the way you do everything.
Oh, I absolutely love that. Thank you so much for sharing your time, for sharing your passion, and sharing what you do with us, because this has been an absolute joy. So pleasure. You are more than welcome to come back anytime. I would love to continue the conversation another night as well, because this has been lovely. And sometime I hope to be able to share with you adaptive water skiing and get you back out on the water too.
I'm in. Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Well, Natan, this has been lovely. Emily, thank you so much. Again, my name is Sue Roskoff, and we are here with Ability MKE Now and